Hello, thank you for joining Twyford Yoga today for this yoga class. We hope you find it helps you to stay healthy and active. It's a short class, it's going to focus on moving, stretching and strengthening every part of you. Please follow along, but be really aware of how you're feeling, how your body feels today, working at your own pace and level. If you need to miss anything out, please do. Also, if you've not done my class before, there might be some new postures that you haven't done, so you might want to watch those first and then rewind before you try them yourself. Hope you enjoy it. Let's start. So coming up to standing at the front of your mat, ready for our sun salutations. Feet together, crown of your head lifting towards the ceiling, shoulder blades relaxing, top of your chest just tilting up. We'll begin with 2 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, bringing your palms together at the centre of your chest, relaxing your shoulders, pressing your palms together. Reaching and stretching your hands up, looking between your hands, lifting your arms a little higher, and as you do that, taking your arms back, taking your armpits back, lifting your chest from your hips, stretching all the way forward and all the way down. Bending your knees as much as you need so that your fingertips are touching the mat, letting your neck muscles relax so your head hangs heavy. Taking your right foot all the way back, lowering your right knee, lifting your gaze as your hips relax. Tucking your right toes under, sending your left foot back, finding a plank here, wrists are underneath your shoulders, you're looking between your hands, maybe putting a little bit of core on, so drawing your navel up towards your spine to give you strength. Lowering your knees, followed by your chest. Making contact with chin or forehead on the ground. Then a gentle press forward as you lift your face and lift your chest. Shoulder blades ease back, elbows in towards your side. Tucking your toes under and lifting your hips. Coming up to down face dog. So our upside down V, your hips are lifting up high, hands pressed down and forwards against the mat, heels pressing firmly towards the ground. Looking between your hands, you're going to bring your right foot through. If you want, you can take both knees down first. Stepping through, giving that leg as much assistance as you need with your right hand, letting your hips relax as your gaze lifts. Bringing your left foot through, coming back to a forward fold, relaxing here with your head hanging heavy, and stretching and reaching all the way up. Arms lifting up and back, tilting your rib cage up to the ceiling. Hands come down. Inhale. Exhale, palms come together. Stretching and reaching your arms up, looking between your hands. From your hips, stretching and reaching all the way forward and down. Fingertips touching the mat, neck muscles relax, your head hangs heavy here, helping your whole upper body relax over your legs. Left leg all the way back. Lift your gaze, relax your hips. Send your right foot back. Coming into plank, shoulder blades relax down your back, maybe pressing your heels away behind you to help you to lengthen. If you're feeling strong, you could take your elbows back so you come down in one straight line, or knees, then chest. Making contact with chin or forehead on the ground. Then press forward as you lift your face and lift your chest. Shoulder blades relaxing back, tucking your toes and lifting your hips. Hands press forward, heels press down, hips lift on high. Taking your weight back towards your legs, pressing your hands forward against the mat so your chest and armpits are heading down and back. Looking between your hands, bringing your left foot through, taking your right knee down, let your gaze lift. Just bringing your right foot through to join the left, relaxing into your forward fold just for a moment. Reach and stretch all the way up. Looking between your hands, lifting your arms, taking them back to tilt your chest to the ceiling. Hands come down. Inhale. Exhale. So we're going to take 2 more rounds. We're going to flow these with our breath. If you're able to align with the breath, please do. We begin with a rest breath. Inhale. Exhale, palms press firmly together. Inhale, stretch and reach up, looking between your hands. Exhale, stretch and reach forward and down, looking towards your knees, head relaxed. Inhale, right leg back, knee down, lift your gaze. Hold your breath, send your left foot back, finding plank, looking between your hands. Exhale as you lower. Elbows back in one straight line or knees then chest. Inhale, face and chest lifts, shoulder blades ease back. Exhale, tuck your toes, lift your hips on high to the ceiling, hands press down, hips lift. Inhale, right foot through, left knee down, lift your gaze. Exhale, left foot through, forward fold, really relaxing with the exhale. Inhale, stretch and reach all the way up and back. Exhale, hands down. Inhale. Exhale, palms pressed together. Inhale, stretching and reaching up and back. Exhale, stretching and reaching forward and down. Inhale, left leg back, knee down, lift your gaze. Hold your breath, right foot back, heels press away behind you in plank. Exhale as you lower. Inhale, face and chest lifts. Exhale, toes tuck. Hips lift on high as your hands press down. Inhale, left foot through, right knee down. Lift your gaze, relax your hips. Exhale, right foot through, forward fold, head hanging heavy. Inhale, stretch and reach up and back. Exhale, hands down. Take an extra breath here, inhale. Exhale, final round, inhale. Exhale, palms together. Inhale, reach and stretch up. Exhale, reach and stretch forward and down. Inhale, right leg back. Knee down, lift your gaze. Hold your breath, left foot back. Looking between your hands in plank, exhaling lower. Inhale, face and chest lifts. Exhale, toes tuck, hips lift, hands press down. Inhale, right foot through, left knee comes down. Exhale, left foot through, forward fold. Inhale, stretch and reach all the way up and back. Exhale, hands down. Final side, inhale. Exhale, palms together. Inhale, stretch and reach up. Exhale, forward and down. Inhale, left leg back, knee down, relax your hips. Hold your breath, right foot back, coming into plank. Exhale as you lower. Inhale, face and chest lifts. Exhale, toes tuck, hips lift on high as your heels press down. Inhale, left foot through, right knee down, lift your gaze. Exhale, right foot through, forward fold. Inhale, stretch and reach up and back. Exhale, hands down. Taking your feet apart, turning your palms face forward. 2 cooling breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Then bringing yourself to lying down in Savasana. Taking your feet out to the corners of the mat, hands away from your body, palms turned up, letting everything relax, letting everything rest. Keeping your attention within your body, maybe being aware of your breathing as it returns back to its resting rate. Setting up for a lying down twist, Supta Matsyendrasana. Bending your knees, bringing your feet in towards you. Maybe coming away from a wall if you can, if you're close. Stretching your arms out at shoulder height. Picking up your right foot, placing your right foot on your right ankle on your left knee. We need to move our hips 2 or 3 inches over to the right. So pressing into your left foot, lifting up your hips, taking them 2 or 3 inches right, placing them back down again. Then stretching your arms, hands away from you, pressing your arms firmly into the ground, pressing your shoulder blades into the ground. That's your anchor line, as on your next exhale you take both legs over to the left hand side. aiming to land the outside edge of your left leg to the ground, the sole of your right foot. Just taking as far though as you're easily able to do, taking your right hand then onto your left knee, keeping your right shoulder blade pressing firmly into the ground, starting to ease your knee down towards the mat. Just taking it as far as it's comfortable to go and as far as your right shoulder blade allows you to. As soon as your right shoulder blade starts to lift off, you might need to let your knee lift back up a bit so your right shoulder blade stays in contact. Then using your breath, every time you inhale, press your right shoulder blade down. Every time you exhale, ease your right knee a little more towards the ground. Taking one more breath there. Final press down of your right knee. Then turning your head to the left, straightening out your top leg so your toes come into your line of sight. Taking a hold with your left hand as close to your ankle as you can reach, but you may find that you're much nearer to your knee. If you are nearer to your knee, then you might want to take a belt, a towel, a tie, something like that, so you can use a belt around your foot so you can use your belt to help you. Then with your foot as close to the ground as your right shoulder blade allows, start to use your left hand to ease your leg to the wall that's above your head. So bringing on a hamstring stretch, keeping your right shoulder blade pressing down, maybe pressing your right hip away from you a little. Once again, you could use your breath here. Every time you exhale, take that as the chance to lift your right leg a little more to the wall above your head. Taking one more breath and releasing your leg, bending your top knee, your knees come towards each other. Lift your knees back up towards the ceiling. Bringing your hips back to the centre, re-stretching out your arms at shoulder height. Picking up your left foot, placing your left ankle on your right knee. Pressing into your right foot to lift your hips, moving them to the left 2 or 3 inches, placing them back down. Arms pressed firmly into the ground, giving you that strong anchor line at the top of your body as you next exhale, slowly taking both legs over to the right hand side. If you can, landing the outer edge of your legs, the sole of your left foot to the ground. Bringing your right hand onto your left knee, left shoulder blade presses into the ground, slowly starting to ease your left knee towards the mat. Just taking it as far as it'll easily and comfortably go. And starting to use your breath as you inhale, press your left shoulder blade down. As you exhale, ease your left knee a little closer to the ground. One more breath here. Turning your head to the right. Straightening out your top leg so your toes come into view. Take a hold of that leg from underneath, as close to your foot as you can easily reach. Maybe using a tie or a belt. Once again, foot as close to the ground as your left shoulder blade allows. And using your right arm, guide your leg up towards the wall that's above your head. Using your breath here, every exhale, ease your leg a little more towards that wall. One more breath. Release your leg, bend your knees, bring your knees towards each other. Lift your knees up towards the ceiling at the centre. Stretch out, bring your knees onto your chest. Take your arms around them, take a rock side to side. Landing your feet back, releasing that, landing your feet back down. Stretching your legs out, taking Savasana. Palms turned up away from your body, feet relaxed apart. So for our core today, we're going to take dynamic crow. If you're not familiar with dynamic crow, you might want to watch it first and then rewind before you do it. Bringing your feet together, stretching your arms overhead. I can't quite stretch my arms out, but if you can, stretch your arms right away from you, pressing your heels away as well. Drawing your navel down towards your spine, so you're locking on your core, switching it on. Then as you next exhale, start to lift your legs, lifting your upper body as well, bending your knees, bringing your knees in towards you. So you make contact somewhere with your knees along your arms. The closer you are to your armpits, the stronger it will be. As you next inhale, stretch that out. So send your legs away from you, take your arms back overhead, stretching out as long as you can, and then keep that going with your breath. As you exhale, bringing it in. As you inhale, taking it out. Keep your navel drawing down towards your spine. If you want to lighten this, then you could choose not to send your legs all the way away from you. The closer you bring your feet down, then the lighter it will be. You could also do just the upper body movement or just the leg movement to lighten further. So just taking it to the level that's right for you. And if you're stretching your legs all the way out and want a bit more strength, don't land your heels down so that you keep working. Keeping your navel drawing down towards your spine. Taking 2 more if you've got them. And when you've done your final one, land your legs down. Keep your arms up above your head. Let your feet come apart, resting your legs. Maybe directing the expansion of your next few inhales down into your abdomen, so that as you breathe in, your abdomen rises. As you breathe out, your abdomen falls. Bringing your hands down by your side. Ready to come into shoulder stand. And again, do watch the video first if you've not done shoulder stand before. To prepare for shoulder stand, bring your feet together. Take your hands in close, arms are straight. Bring your elbows in as close as you can. You might just want to sit into a little bit of your hands. Lynn's demonstrating how you could also put your feet up against the wall if you wanted to take shoulder stand with your legs against the wall. When you're ready, lifting your legs. And if you have high blood pressure, then you might want to stay with your legs up the wall or stay with your legs lifted. If you don't have high blood pressure, then you can lift your hips, bringing your hands against your lower back, coming into a first shoulder stand. Knowing that you might want to come in with knees bent, you'll probably find your own way of getting your legs and hips lifted. Once you're in your shoulder stand, then relax. Just let your shoulder stand settle. Maybe starting just to take some adjustments here. So you could change the height of your legs. So you bring your knees further closer to you or further away. As you do that, as you bring your knees closer to you, you might then want to feed your upper back through your legs, through your hands. Or as you lift your knees, you might want to drop more of your buttocks into your hands. So do know that you can come out at any point. Also know that if you're familiar with the pose of tranquility, you could take that, but only if you're already familiar with it. Checking, keeping your upper arms pressing into the ground, so that's giving you a firm base. Relaxing on each exhale, taking a couple more breaths before we come out. So if you went into the pose of tranquility, bring yourself back to shoulder stand. And then one of the most important things with shoulder stand is to come out safely. You want to take your legs back a little so you can then put one hand followed by the other down onto the ground, palms face down, slow as you like, then draping your spine back down to the ground. Stretching your legs out. Then we'll show you how to dismount from the wall, turning your palms up, taking a breath there. And then if you just want to come to Savasana ready for bridge. Preparing for bridge, bending your knees, bringing your feet in towards you. Turning your palms face down, reaching down, just seeing if you can graze the middle of your heel with the middle of your finger. With your middle finger, in fact. Feet hip distance, then turning your toes in slightly, so you're a little bit pigeon-toed. Tilt your tailbone up towards the ceiling so your pelvis tilts up. That starts your pelvis lifting. Keep it then lifting up to the ceiling, pressing into your feet. Once your hips have lifted as high as they'll comfortably go, start to press your upper arms into the ground so that you can peel more of your upper back away from the mat. If it feels like the right thing for you to do today, you could then interlace your fingers underneath you, and then you could also maybe just roll your upper arms outwards, rolling your shoulders underneath you, taking a lift on each side to allow that to happen. Wherever your hands are, you could then press into your feet and press into your upper arms, lifting your hips, lifting your upper back. Keep your breath steady and smooth. Taking 2 more breaths. On your final inhale, have another good lift up. And then if your hands are underneath you, move them out to the side. As you next exhale, slowly lowering back down, sending your hips towards your heels, so that you come down smoothly from the top of your back all the way down to your hips. When your hips land, bring your knees up onto your chest. Take your arms around the back of your knees or around the front of your knees, taking a rock side to side. Bring your rocking to a halt in the centre. Ease your head towards your knees and draw your knees down towards your chest. Land your feet down, land your head down, stretching your legs out, taking rest. From there, bring yourself up to sitting. Just sitting comfortably. You might be cross-legged, you don't have to be. Turning your head all the way, no, face this way. Turning your head all the way to the right. And back to the centre. All the way to the left. And centre. To the right. As far as your neck's comfortable to go. The centre. Finally to the left. And back to the centre. From there, coming on to your front, ready to do some work for our backs. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders so that the tips of your fingers are lined up to the top of your shoulders. You'll have your elbow just pointing up a little towards the ceiling, bringing your forehead down onto the ground. With your forehead relaxing on the ground, lift your shoulders up towards the ceiling and then take them down towards your feet. It's a little up and back movement. As you next inhale, lift your face to look directly forwards. As you next inhale, slowly start to peel your chest away from the mat. Your hands are just relaxing on the ground, they're not lifting you. Elbows coming close. Easing your chest forward as your shoulder blades relax down your back and your elbows head towards the back of the room. Keeping your breath smooth, taking 1 more breath. As you exhale, slowly lowering down, landing your forehead onto the mat or maybe your chin. With your chin staying on the ground, just take that lift and move of your shoulders, lifting them up and back. As you next inhale, lift your face to look forward. You maybe feel a little stretch in your throat as you do that. As you next inhale, lift your chest. Shoulder blades down your back, elbows in close. As your elbows then can head to the back of the room, you'll feel your hands pull against the mat. They won't move against it, but they'll be pulling gently on it. Chest eases forward. One more breath here, lifting maybe as you take it. As you exhale, lowering down. Got one more cobra. Shoulders lift up and back. Inhaling, lift your face, look forward. Next inhale, lift your chest. Shoulder blades easing down your back. If you want a little bit more on this one, as you next inhale, put some pressure into your hands, maybe lifting your chest a little higher, only coming as high as your lower back is comfortable to go. Easing your chest forward, elbows easing back. One more breath, one more lift. As you exhale, lowering back down. Bring your hands underneath your forehead, resting your forehead onto your hands or maybe a cheek. So just going to take one more back bend here. We're going to strengthen it up a little, but know that if you want, you could rest this out, or you could take cobra again with your hands underneath your shoulders. If you want to make it stronger, take your hands down behind you, interlacing your fingers, resting your hands on your back. If your shoulders don't enjoy this, you could have your hands separate, so your hands are just resting by your side. As you next inhale, lift your face so you're looking directly forwards. As you next inhale, lift your chest. As you next inhale, lift your hands. Press your hands back to the wall behind you, lifting them up towards the ceiling, lifting your shoulders, lifting your chest, keeping your breath steady and smooth. One more breath, one more lift if you've got it. As you exhale, slowly lowering down. Bringing your hands underneath your forehead, resting a forehead or a cheek onto your hands. Bringing your hands underneath your shoulders, coming up to hands and knees, and then sitting yourself back into child's pose. So hips come down towards your heels. Bring your hips as close to your heels as you can, then bring your forehead down towards the ground. If your forehead doesn't easily touch the ground, then you could either take a fist or two fists under your hand, or place a block or cushion underneath your head. Once you're there, then relax, making any adjustments to your child's pose. So you could maybe take your knees wide, or you could have them close together. You could maybe stretch your hands out in front if they're not underneath your forehead, or bring them down by your feet, or bring one hand on top of the other on your lower back, or interlace your hands behind your head. Anything that makes you comfortable. And once you're wherever you want to be, then using your breath so that each time you exhale, you let your upper body, your whole body in fact, relax towards the ground. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, pressing into your hands, and then stretching your legs out. Picking up your right foot, crossing it over your left leg, ready for a twist. Take your hands onto your knees, so you can draw your knee towards you, lifting your chest up and forward towards your knee. So really coming up good and straight. Take your right hand behind you, pressing your right fingertips into the ground. So that keeps you lifting your chest up and forward. As you next inhale, lift your left arm up towards the ceiling. Stretching tall. As you exhale, starting to turn your chest to the right. Taking your right arm either so your elbow comes against your left knee, or your right knee, or taking a hug around your arm. Taking your right shoulder back a little to help your chest ease round. Taking your gaze over your right shoulder. Making sure that your chin is level, so you're neither looking up nor down. Using your breath from here. As you inhale, re-straighten, pressing into your backhand. As you exhale, ease round a little more. Only easing round. Don't use your elbow if it's against your knee to force your way round. It's just supporting your upper body in moving round. One more breath. As you next inhale, lift your left arm curling as you do. Exhale, lowering your left arm. Uncrossing your legs, taking a shake of your legs. Bringing your left foot in this time, crossing it over your right leg. Taking a hold of your knee, drawing your knee in as you lift your chest, so coming good and straight. And left hand behind you, fingertips pressing into the ground. As you inhale, lift your right arm, stretching taller. As you exhale, turning to the left. Taking your chest around, bringing your arm to hug around your leg or to take the elbow against your knee. Taking your left shoulder back a little more, taking your gaze over your left shoulder if that's comfortable for your neck. And using your breath. Inhaling, straightening with your back hand, exhale, easing round. Using your upper body strength more than your arm to help you twist. One more breath. As you next inhale, lift your right arm, untwisting as you do. Exhale, lowering your arm. Stretching your leg out, taking a shake of your legs. Then bringing yourself up to standing. Ready for some standing postures. So taking your legs a reasonable distance apart, ready for a Trikonasana, a triangle pose. Bringing your hands onto your hips. Turning your right foot in and your left foot out. Turning your hips so that you're pointing to the long edge of your mat as much as you can. Lifting your right arm up towards the ceiling. Stretching your right arm as much as you can, pressing your right foot firmly into the ground. So getting a good stretch down the right side of your body. Take your left hand onto your left thigh. Keeping your right hand lifting as on your next exhale you start hinging over to the left. Keep your right shoulder easing back rather than coming forward, just coming down as far as you easily can. When you get to that point, you could maybe start pressing your fingertips towards the wall that's in to your left. Then use your breath. Each time you inhale, press your fingertips to the left. Each time you exhale, relax more to the left. As you next inhale, bring yourself back up. Exhale, lower your right arm. Hands on hips, feet face forward. We'll take a couple of breaths before we do the other side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Turn your left foot in and your right foot out. Guide your hips back to face the front. Inhaling, lift your left arm up towards the ceiling. Fingertips stretch up as your left foot presses down. Take your right hand onto your right thigh. Keep the upward pressure with your left arm as on your next exhale you hinge to the right, keeping your left shoulder easing back. When you've come as far as you can, start pressing your fingertips away from you. That might help you drift down a little more. Then using your breath. As you inhale, your fingertips press forward. As you exhale, you relax to the right. One more breath. As you next inhale, lifting yourself back up. Exhale, lowering your hands. Feet face forward, hands on hips, heel toeing your feet back together. Taking a good shake of your legs and coming to Tadasana. So preparing for our balance. Feet hip distance apart, hands relaxing by your side, shoulders relaxing. Just taking a couple of breaths here. On the inhale, feeling the rise in your body. On the exhale, letting your whole body relax. Picking up your right foot, crossing your right ankle above your left knee. Let your hands relax in front. As you next exhale, starting to hinge forward from your hips. So bringing your fingertips down towards the ground, coming down until either your fingertips have touched the ground or you've gone as far as you can. You can then start to bend your standing knee as if you're sitting down into an imaginary chair. Once you've sat down as far as you can, bringing your hands to your heart centre, lifting your chest a little, maybe seeing if you can sit down a bit deeper into your chair, keeping your breath nice and smooth. As you next inhale, slowly coming back up. Exhaling, lowering hands, lowering foot. Take a shake of your left leg and feet hip distance apart. Hands relaxed by your side. Take a breath there. Picking up your left foot, crossing your left ankle above your right knee. Hands relaxing in front of you. When you're ready, on an exhale, starting to hinge forward from your hips. Fingertips drift down towards the ground. When you've gone as far as you can or touch the ground, you can start to bend your standing knee. Sitting down as far as you can, then bringing your hands to your heart centre. Little lift of your chest. See if you can sit down any more deeply. As you next inhale, slowly coming back up. Exhale, lower your hands, lower your leg, taking a shake of your legs, and then bringing yourself to lying down ready for final relaxation. Putting on any clothes, anything that will allow you to be comfortable, maybe taking a cushion or block to have behind your head. Finding a good Savasana pose, feet out to the corners of the mat, hands away from your body, your palms turned up. Being aware of the back of your body against the ground. Making any adjustments so that the back of your body is as comfortable as it can be. Being aware of your next few breaths. Feeling the rise of the inhale. Allowing the fall of the exhale to relax your whole body more easily and more comfortably against the ground. Letting everything go. Letting everything rest. Your body still for a few more moments. Bring your awareness gently back. Take a wriggle of your fingers and toes. Bring your feet together, take your arms up overhead. Have a gentle stretch out, toes pressed forward, hands stretching back. Releasing that stretch, bending your knees. Bringing your knees, one then the other, onto your chest, bringing your arms back over to hug around the back of your knees or the front of your knees, taking a rock side to side. Bringing the rocking to a halt in the centre, easing your head to your knees, drawing your knees down to your chest. Releasing, head down to the ground, feet down to the ground. And from there, maybe coming via the right hand side for a moment, Slowly bringing yourself back to sitting. Thank you for joining us. Namaste.
Namaste. You should have looked at me.
Hmm?
You should have done one to me.
Oh, were you doing it to me?
No, I did one to the camera and then I looked at you and you were going.